So I was trying to get my party executives. I couldn't get any until about 6 when I closed from the office and got to the constituency. So I tried to find out what happened. And then the gentleman told me, well, they were there, and then they saw Esla Wusu with megaphone. And the only thing she was saying, nah, Gashipon, Jegama Noni, Jegamepa Noni, Mofemo Yegbene register, Mofemo register.
That means what?
The Accra land is not only for guns. Everybody has the right to go and register. Everybody should get up and go and register. Nobody can stop anybody. So,
I can assure him.
Please let him finish.
I can assure him they lied to him.
Okay, fair enough.
Never said that.
Let him finish. He didn't
so
interrupt you.
The boys just went to her and they said, Madam, no bofi or okebemba, meaning you bring in trouble. So leave this place. Then she said, that
is to say,
depart
from me with
your dirty hands. This is what the boy said. I cannot verify what the boy said, and I cannot verify what Abu is saying because I wasn't there. So it led to exchange. They didn't deny that they were not beaten.
They were beaten?
They were beaten. And
by NDC
it's
people?
Unfortunate they were beaten. They are not NDC. How can you determine they are NDC?
But are they MPP?
Well, MP people have the credibility of killing fowls and pouring the blood on them and claiming that NDC people have beaten them. We all knew what happened in 2000.
Do you know the people who
Kwame Bartels did that. Kwame Bartels did that in 2000. If you didn't that time you were NDC boy.
Jojo Bruce Kwanza.
I said Kwame Bartels did it. That time you were NDC boy, so you didn't know.
That's fine. It's Jojo Bruce Kwanza who did it.
That's on record. Yes.
So he didn't think about it. He didn't know about that. I'm telling him.
Extraneous matters.
Well, anyway. So do you know the people who beat them? Those who
no,
you don't know them?
No, this is my constituency executive narrating to me what they heard happened. They were also not there. So I told them they should relax. I tried to get a police district commissioner. He said the thing has happened before he was called in. So, we are under Jamestown.
Yeah.
So he gave me the brief.
So you want to see the police?
No, I have not seen the police. Okay. And then all of a sudden I heard on radio stations. In fact, when I was being interviewed before then, but somebody called me and said I should listen to Peace FM in the evening, so I tuned in. And I heard Esla saying that today they are going to marshal forces and go there.
This was yesterday, yeah.
And I felt it was very unfortunate that if you have been to a place and an incident has happened, the wisest thing anyone will do is not to exasperate the issue, not to make it worse. That's what I thought. Any law-abiding citizen in this country, that's what I thought would do, especially when the person claims to be a lawyer.
No.
So when I heard that, I felt it was bad. So immediately, I called the police and asked them whether they were hearing what was happening. They said, yes, they've heard it. I heard Abu also say the same thing. Today, we saw a score. They are calling some people laggards. They're calling some people langard. I have seen people who say they are leaders of political party, moving along with langard. Since the registration started, Paul, I have gone around only once. The day I went to register, I went because my agents were talking about the food. So I went around to ask them. Even that day, I met the MPP candidate together at Abu Bloshi. We all went to 2-3 police stations. People were talking about it. Oh, we not had any incident. The only time there was an incident was at railways. The police officer there called all of us to their office. They talked to us. The two of us came out. We talked to the support, the people who were about to register, and they all left. So between us, at the party level, at the grassroots, at the constituency level, we've been coordinating very well. So this, all of a sudden, insurgents by people who think they are bigger than the constituency people, know more than them, and decide to come and inflame passions in the constituency is what has brought all this. So you mean I thought today,
if Aslosu didn't turn up yesterday,
I don't think there have been
no
any incident in Odododiodoo. I don't think
the beginning
of
the
there have been incidents, but all of us have been able to resolve these issues, and we've not had any incident since then. Today, what happened is so disgraceful. You saw it on the screen. That they even had to beat up somebody, innocent persons. People who are criticizing others for having been beaten, now beating somebody for making a comment, destroying people's properties. And somebody standing there calling me Lamptey Vanderpuye a tag. Names. But I wouldn't bother because people know me better.
I'll come back to you about what's the state of affairs right now. How do we move forward? Because we need peace.
The only thing I would say is that, Paul, there's one thing about all this. What is happening in Odododiodoo is simply an issue of people who think that they cannot win Odododiodoo with the people in Odododiodoo. So they have to import people from outside, write our house numbers, and give it to them to go and register. But they made a mistake. They didn't know that Odododiodoo had different electoral areas with different house numbers. So give the house number to the person, and you send the person to this registration center, and it gets there. Immediately, the agent there knows that this house number does not belong to this electoral area. You understand? This is a mistake they are making. Sometimes you ask them,
so
where is the house?
You believe that the foundation of the problem is that the MPP is concerned that with the number of people in Odododiodoo or with the population of Odododiodoo as it currently stands, there's no way they can win the election.
No.
And therefore they have to import.
Yes.
Is it because it is such an area where the votes are relatively tribal?
Not precisely, because you have 3 dynamic features in Odododiodoo. You have the indigenous Kinka, you have the semi-indigenous English, and then you have the almost heterogeneous Kolewoko, where I come from.
But MPP has won it before.
In 2000.
Yes.
That one was just the wind which blew across the country and across the south.
But the wind could blow again.
No, it won't happen.
Okay, I'll come back to you about the state of affairs. How can we have peace? Abu, just quickly before I go to Koja Santi on the phone.
Well, first of all, Paul, Madame Eslousu is a person who's been given the title of Ayoko.
Icon. Ayoko.
In Choko.
Okay.
And so she's now Esla Ayoko Owusu. Eslousu would never insult Gans, and she never did it. So I'm telling you.
I've not said she insulted Gans.
Hold on.
Is that what I said?
No, hold on. In fact, nothing Gan came in. Nothing Gan came in.
Okay.
And there was no occasion where anybody was provoked. It was an unprovoked attack. Okay. Having said that, let me
quickly.
On the significance of our visit today, the visit to Odododiodoo, and particularly the Tarzan polling station and its environs, was to make an unequivocal statement, Paul, that we all have to begin to stand up for the democratic values in our country. We got into Odododiodoo, and let me say thank you to the gallant...
That is not the reason why you went there. You went there to show your macho.
You want to say thank you to...
You went there to show your machoism. Because you stood there and said that, where is Lamptey? Lamptey, if he's a man, he should come.
Yes.
I have better things to do.
Can I proceed?
Yes, you are thanking some people. You want to thank
Can I make the point?
Yes.
Then I want to thank the citizens of Odododiodoo who came in their thousands. Look, honestly, Paul,
we saw it on
I
the
was
screen.
humbled in their thousands, and it was a tumultuous entry into Odododiodoo. They received us very well,
and you enjoyed it.
We enjoyed
but our
it.
footage showed some intolerance, where a young man who was thought to be, did you know about that?
I didn't know about those.
Do you regret it?
I regret it. Those were unfortunate incidents. If somebody had passed a comment which was derogatory and you are not happy with, the right thing is not to go beating the person. That is why I'm calling upon him to do on your platform. If his President Mills, says that he's a man of peace, he's a special aid to President Mills, as Mr. Lamptey Vanderpuye, regardless of what, whatever.
I am Lamptey Vanderpuye.
I'm even told you I'm not an indigenous guy. I'm told about
no,
that. I don't know how
that's not matter.
Anyway, let me proceed.
I don't know whether he is or he's not. Yeah.
I'm saying condemn what happened yesterday. I've condemned the incident that you showed on your footage. If your president is
condemning it.
We are condemning. But what we did today was just to say that, just as Paul, in Egypt, a young man, for example, and I'm not saying a similar thing should happen in Ghana, who had completed university, went into selling vegetables.
Tunisia.
No, Tunisia.
Mohamed Bouazizi.
Absolutely. Who, got the Arab Spring and revolutionized the Arab world. Ghana, Eslousu and I, in a very humble way.
In a Bouazizis of Ghana.
Not necessarily, but we said that let's go to Odododiodoo, let them slaughter all of us. And indeed, a statement has been made. Where's
Esla though? Is she all right?
Esla is fine.
Okay.
I mean, she was injured yesterday, but she marshaled all the courage. People from the NDC, leading members of the had called us to prevail upon us not to visit. But we conferred and we said that we need to make that statement And never again in our country for arbitrary rule. Never again in our country for
all right.
fiat.
Abu, I have the deputy minister information.
If
I have the minister
you
information.
have somebody to thank, you must thank me.
No, because after
Yes, you must thank me.
Tell me why.
I'm telling you.
Tell me why.
Ask the police
Tell
service.
me. Okay.
Paul, yesterday, I and the former chairman of Accra House of Folk, Ni Ayibunte, and Lache, virtually have to go round talking to the youth.
Yesterday?
Calm down. Yes, yesterday night. This morning, I had to do the same. Paul.
Otherwise, what would have happened?
The youth were so agitated that if people say they are going to marshal forces and descend on them, then they are ready for them.
Wow.
We have to go round and beg.
We're happy that you did
You
that.
know what happened after we left there?
We're happy that you did that.
know what happened after we left there?
We're happy that you did that.
But for the restraint
my
they showed,
concluding remarks.
I don't know what will have happened in this country.
Just 30 seconds, Paul.
Okay,
5
yes.
seconds.
Yeah.
I've thrown this challenge 5 times. I want to throw it for the last time.
Okay.
For the
I'll throw it for you.
Let me do it.
Can I throw it for you? Nilante, would you condemn
what happened, the attacks on myself and this?
I wasn't there. I didn't see
condemn
it. And I'm saying you want to force me to do what I'm not.
But you said your people said there was a beating.
I said that if they were beaten, it's unfortunate.
But they say your people said there was a beating.
From yesterday, I've said it. It's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate.
And I didn't wish that.
And that you condemn it.
I didn't wish that for Eslau.
Say that you condemn it.
Do you regret it?
Oh, why not?
Do you condemn
Once
it?
I've said that.
Abu, can I do this, please?
Once I've said, let me tell you, you cannot coerce me.
I'm not coercing you.
Induce me to do what I wouldn't do.
It's a very simple,
let me
talk to Koja Santi and then we'll wrap up.
Let me clear something. I've heard people go around and say I'm not an indigenous guy. Do you know many of them?
Forget about that.
No, I want to clear it because I am.
Yeah, please. That was a low blow.
My
that was a
father
low blow.
is called
Abu, can you withdraw that?
Oh,
my grandfather.
Abu, can you withdraw that?
Because
I know many Vanderpuye.
Can I make the point?
Yes.
Vanderpuye.
Yes.
Nana Akufo-Addo has taught me to be a gentleman.
Please,
Mr. Vanderpuye,
please
I
withdraw
withdraw
that.
I'm sorry.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I mean, to tell somebody that he's
I
not
hope that
indigenous guy. We've known him from his commentary, football commentary days. So
condemn you can't. Your boss says
he's apologized for that one.
You can't live by it. They can't live by their word. They don't walk their talk.
Whatever incident happened yesterday,
they don't walk their talk.
whatever happened yesterday is regrettable.
Fair enough.
It's regrettable.
Why wouldn't you condemn it?
That's good enough. That's good
enough. Who am I going to condemn?
Is Koja Santi on the line still, Mr. Producer? Hello?
Hello.
Sorry, Koja Santi. Sorry about this. But we just want to pick some remarks from you as an observer from civil society. What do you make of this incident? How do we move forward? We have several months to go before the election. Odododiodoo is going to be a hot spot. Ablekuma South is going to be hot. Tamale Central, Tamale South is going to be hot. Nima is going to be hot. Menshia is going to be hot. What's going to happen?
Well, I mean, Paul, this year is 20th year since we returned to multi-party democracy. 20 years of democratic practice. The scenes that I saw is quite disturbing. I don't know, I mean, if our politicians sometimes feel that, sometimes they behave like nurses in an accident ward. Maybe they've seen, this thing over and over and over again. So when they are participants in it feels familiar. But this cannot go on. Somebody is going to die one day. Some politician in this scuffle and back and forth, and Odododiodoo has been running for about a couple of weeks now. And we are not able to find the resources within the parties to even say, let's bring an end to it. And there were a lot of things just by this clip alone and the discussion you've had so far, which is quite disturbing. The gentleman who was, I think your reporter said, had been beaten up because he had made a derogatory remark or something. And I could see that there were police people around there. So was anybody arrested? That person has just been beaten up and is there. And then somebody then feels that, well, they have to retaliate. Mr. Jinapor said he went with Madam Esla, and seeing her face bruised with bandages, this cannot continue to happen. But he went to the polling station. I want to ask him, was he an accredited observer at the polling station? Does he know that by law, by the registration laws of our country, if you want to go to a registration center and enter the registration center, that you have to be accredited. The gentleman that prevented Eslorusu around and pushed him, was he a police officer? Does he have the authority to drive people away from a police station? That is not his responsibility. Our political parties have been running politics. They've been doing registration and doing elections for so many years. We all know the rules. So why is it that people intentionally and deliberately flout the rules? Because without that, then you always have chaos. So I don't understand why we continue to do this, because all the end game is that we want to serve Ghanaians. So why do we have to go through this route?
Okay, Kojo, thank you. We have Minister Okudzeto Ablakwa on to talk about the Green Book and the Volta Regional Tour. So we will have occasion enough to have a discussion about this. We sincerely thank you for your time and your waiting time too. Thank you very much. Were you a registration officer?
I wasn't an accredited officer.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
He says that the law says should have been there, but that's all we have time for. That's all we have time for. Nilante, would you do us the honors by shaking hands with Abu if you can, if you don't mind? We will be delighted if that could happen.
First, before I do that, I will ask him to withdraw all those words he used against me.
I think Abu,
because
Langard.
I'm not a Langard. If anything at all, I would have been Abu's lecturer. So I'm not a Langard.
Please.
Abu, we don't have time. Would you be able to do that or not?
Hold on, let me give my response.
Abu, would you be able to do that or not?
I was a very disciplined
I think
public
the
servant.
point is well made. Abu, would you be able to withdraw that?
Say I'm a Langard.
All of these issues of lecture and what have you, those are quite extraneous. I don't think you
It's
can
not
lecture.
extraneous.
Hold on, I
I'm
don't think you
saying-
can lecture in the
Abu,
Ghana School of
Abu,
Law.
Abu, can
Are you going to be able to lecture in the Ghana School of
I will have
Law?
been.
Can I make the
Yeah.
point? Can I make the point?
Yeah.
That from tomorrow, Mr. Lamptey, Vanderpuye, and all the stakeholders in Odododiodoo should work, endeavor to create a conducive environment for it.
We were having that until you came in.
Just
Abu, we
30
don't have
seconds.
time.
30 seconds.
We were having that
30
before
more
you
seconds.
came in. You
I will
and
finish
Esla
in
came
30
in.
Yeah.
We were having
Hold
very
on,
He's
serious
asking you to
arguments.
withdraw some of those things.
30 seconds. You know, let's have that kind of, if you want to challenge. When the process is done and you win, the best man has
Abu,
won.
we don't need
on
that. Can you?
Score,
Yes.
On that score,
Yes.
if that is
Going to
done,
happen.
that is going to happen, why not? He wouldn't be a land guard, he wouldn't be attacked.
So would you withdraw it?
As we speak now, there's things that have happened in the previous days and the rest, smacks of that kind of conduct.
But would you withdraw it or not? Can you withdraw at least the Langard? I think that's what.
Land guard, okay.
I'm not a tag.
There's no
Okay.
basis
I'm not
in
a
the tag.
I'm not a tag.
I
Well, no
insist.
problem.
I insist. I think that to
Well-
call him a thug and a Langard, those
Well,
were very.
well, no problem.
Please.
No problem. I withdraw that, but I hope that.
And he's older than you.
Oh no, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
When he came into the studio, I was the first person to stretch my hand. But my dad and my family, the Jinapor family, has taught me to be steadfast and look into anybody's eyes and speak the truth to him, whether he has a gray hair or not.
Okay,
and I always
fair
do
enough.
that.
Nilante, can you shake hands with him, please?
He hasn't withdrawn.
He has.
He has not.
Oh, okay.
He has.
Paul, he has not.
He has.
I'm a Christian.
Okay, I
If you
have
do
to
that,
leave it here.
I'm
I have to leave it here.
I'm
No
an
problem.
intelligent person.
Yeah.
He has
Don't worry.
not withdrawn.
Yeah.
He has not withdrawn what the things he said about me.
But nonetheless,
he
can
has
you-
gone around it.
can you
He
shake
has
hands
not
with him
withdrawn.
nonetheless?
I'm saying he should withdraw.
Okay.
Final comment. I'm a believer in Christ. Have it.
I'm a Christian. We
Okay,
withdraw.
thank you.
Withdraw those statements.
Let's
Okay, you
end
can't
it here.
leave the studio yet. Alhaji Bature says you said you were 100 meters away from Esla. How were you able to save her when you're 100 meters away?
Oh no!
After the
When we
break,
got to the
you
police
can,
station,
you
we were
can
together.
call him
That
afterwards.
was the-
But I have to thank you very
well,
much, Nilante, for coming.
yeah,
It's a
thank you
pleasure. Thank you for your patience also. Thank you, Abu. Excellent. Let's
Absolutely.
hope that we have a clean campaign and everything goes on well.
To that.
Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa is next. I hope you forgive us for all of the time that we have spent. He's talking about the President's Volta Regional Tour and the Green Book that was launched by the Vice President after the break.